welcome everybody to the latest installment of the Beard Owl Podcast. It's a podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And before I get into anything here, I realized at the end of the last episode, I was a bit of a moron because I said that our next episode in 3D 40th anniversary extravaganza palooza would be Polkas on 45, completely forgetting that I Lost on Jeopardy absolutely is on that album before Polkas on 45. So you're getting the I Lost on Jeopardy episode this time around, and Polkas on 45, I assure you, will happen next time, not this time. Anyway, I'm Lauren. I am always here, and I am joined by two of my favorite men whose names happen to start with R. I've got Russ, my husband, who's in the room, sitting right here, typing feverishly.
I'm here.
And Richie, my OddPods media friend. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited about this beer that I have for this. And I was a little lax on this show for quite a while, where I'd just be like, oh, well, this is just what I had in the fridge. This is just what I had in the fridge. But I'm making an effort to try a little harder again with the beers that I pick. So just to get this out of the way, first off, I have a beer called Depth Perception from Terrapin Beer Company in Athens, Georgia. And the reason I have this particular beer, it's a couple reasons, but it's an Imperial IPA and I like those. But the primary reason I'm pairing it with I Lost on Jeopardy is because Terrapin Beer Company, a terrapin is a type of turtle, and you don't even get a nice taste of turtle wax. And so there's a reason, and I'm happy about it. But yeah, right here at the jump, Richie, it's been a while since you've been on the show, and I think you've got some different stuff that our people need to check out. So I'm going to let you do that right here at the beginning.
Awesome. Okay, so formerly I ran the Super Media Bros podcast, which is actually still very much archived. If you want to go check out all of our episodes, we have over 300 of them. They're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Super Media Bros podcast, Google it, it's there. Since then, I took about 2 months away from podcasting altogether, and I just recently started up a musical podcast dedicated to the band Ghost called Gonst FM Off Air, which is a podcast companion to the station head radio station that I run called Gonst FM. So if you want to check that out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, we have 4 episodes that are out right now, and we're releasing one every 1 to 2 weeks. We're doing guest interviews with people that are fans of the band, content creators, some people that have worked alongside the band, and much more.
Cool. Yeah. So for those of my Weird Al brethren who may not be super familiar with the band Ghost, can you give a little background on what type of music that is, what we can expect from that, and what kind of conversations y'all are having?
Absolutely. So I think that anybody that has never heard of this band is going to get thrown for a loop when I tell you that if you were a theater kid and you like Black Sabbath and you like ABBA and you like Queen and you like 80s metal, but you also like pop music, it's all rolled in one. And it is very much a theatrical presentation where the front man is done up in makeup. It's kind of like this generation's Kiss in a way, and that's kind of how I put it. But it's very fun. It's very tongue in cheek. It is filled with lore. There's stuff you can dig into story wise. They have 5 albums out. It's really a choose your own adventure because every album sounds different. There are influences from bands like Merciful Fate, Black Sabbath, like I mentioned earlier, and tons of other groups from the 80s and early 90s. Everything from Norwegian. Classic Norwegian black metal to literally Queen and Rolling Stones.
That's wild. Yeah, that's a lot going on.
It really is.
A lot going on. So, folks, if that eclectic, and I use this word lovingly, if that eclectic mess sounds like your cup of tea, because, let's face it, Weird Al's also a bit of an eclectic mess, then, check it out. Thanks, Richie.
Welcome.
Yeah. And of course, Russ is here. We know him from the Infectious Groove Music YouTube channel that I am also on quite a bit, where listeners of the Beard Owl podcast also get to see my beautiful face. Look at that. I'm a fully realized human being. Wild.
That's great.
Wild
Human
stuff.
being.
I'm not an abidol. I'm a humid bead.
Speaking of which, that's why I've been preoccupied here at the beginning of this episode, because I have to deal with copyright infringement for our channel because someone has decided to take one of our reaction videos and just put it on their TikTok as if they lifted a finger to create that content in any way, shape, or form. So I found out moments before you started hitting record.
So yeah. Well, you're gonna, I know. Stupid people. Like, if you want to create content, create unique content. And I say that as we're about to talk about a parody song, but it's unique.
Well, my thing is, like, we put out 4 videos every single week on the channel, and I think a lot of people would agree that reaction content, by and large, is looked down upon because it's kind of the laziest of all content. Like, in that particular video, Elvis Presley on his death door was working his butt off, and it's us reacting to that, right? So, but however, my counter argument to that would be that, like, we work our butts off to put out the other 3 videos every week, and the reaction video thing is very much just a supplement to our channel.
I concur.
But then, like, how do you do even less work than a reaction video? You steal someone else's reaction video, you tool.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Just lift a finger, kids. If you're listening to this, and I know that your channel has a lot of younger listeners, which I love, because, like, I really hope that in the future people come up listening to amazingly talented people like Weird Al, because Lord knows we don't have it in the mainstream music right now. But yeah, so if you are a younger person and you're listening to this, lift a finger. Don't steal from other people in any way, shape, or form, especially the woman that you're listening to.
Yeah, I'm your cool Weird Al aunt. Like, be cool. Be cool.
So I'm going to get over that. That's why I was preoccupied at the beginning, and I wasn't even going to mention it, but then you're like, hey, we have this YouTube channel. And I was like, oh yeah, that thing that's apparently good enough to steal from. That's twice, by the way. We had, years ago, we did a video about InXS, and someone filmed the video on their television and then put that video on their channel.
Richie's making the face. Exactly. Ew.
Oh, dude, you were involved. This was years ago, but you were involved. You raised holy hell on Twitter about it. You tagged them like 10 times a day. Yeah, the people that stole it. You were like, no, really, I need an answer to this. Like, you, the Itch, our friends at the Itch, a bunch of people jumped in and, like, tagged the crap out of this other podcast until they took the video down.
God, I think I actually remember
that.
Yeah,
it was years ago. It was like 3 years ago, but yeah. Because do you remember they literally filmed our video playing on their TV and then put that on. And you know what's funny is the YouTube algorithm caught it. I would have never known. YouTube was like, hey, we think this is your video on someone else's channel. And I was like, that don't make no damn sense. What do you mean my video on someone else's channel? And then I looked at it, and it was like they bootlegged, like Richie, I'm sure you've seen more than a few of your theater bootlegs in your time. It was like watching someone had bootlegged my video in the theater, like on the week of release. And it was about the InXS live album too. Of all the, if you're gonna bootleg a video, really? Like the InXS live album? Like I think it sold 14 copies, including me and the band.
That's a little excessive.
Oh, but I think with that beautiful pun, let's get into the meat of this program, what the people are here for.
Because
right?
We're not going to get, if we don't get into it now, the rest of the program will be in
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. Ooh. So we are talking about the next track. This is track 5 on Weird Al Yankovic in 3D, whose 40th anniversary we are celebrating this year. And we're going to start this episode, as I always start this episode, with some facts about the song. And I was able to find, once again, thanks to Weird Al Wiki Fandom, some great facts about the video. And I think that's supremely entertaining. But first of all, the main fact here is that the show Jeopardy, as we know it, was not on the air when Al wrote, recorded, and released this song.
Mm-hmm.
Jeopardy came back on the air a couple of weeks after the I Lost on Jeopardy single was released. So I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say that Weird Al's the reason that we have Jeopardy again as we do.
Look, I'll say
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Yes.
I think it's pretty true. So next up, I watched the video for this and the video for Jeopardy by the Greg Kihn Band today. I watched both things several times today.
I don't think I've seen the Greg Kihn video since it aired, like literally in whatever 82 or 83 or whatever it was.
Richie, have you ever watched the video for Jeopardy by the Greg Kihn Band?
I'll tell you right now, I've only ever heard the song. I've actually never ventured out to watch the video.
Yeah,
and I feel like I should.
If I have seen the video, then it was when it aired.
Okay, so having an understanding and an appreciation for the video Jeopardy by the Greg Kihn Band, actually.
Wait, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Where does it rate on a scale of a good music video to Separate Ways by Journey? You know what I'm talking? Do you know Separate Ways by Journey? Where they're like air instrumenting on the wall and
oh yeah. Honestly, this is a great music video.
Okay, okay. I wasn't sure where you were going.
It's full of early '80s camp insofar as it's like he's at the altar and he's questioning whether or not he should be getting married, and he looks back at the people in the congregation, and like one couple's holding hands, but it looks like they're handcuffed together. Another couple looks like their hands are melded together. Another
metaphors.
There's metaphors all over the place. And then after the marriage occurs, they end up like zombie corpses. So that whole musical breakdown in the middle is like a very like zombie kind of situation happening. Yeah. And then it turns out that was all just in his head before the wedding happened. But he's like, well, I got to run out on this. So he runs out to a car. Turns out the bride also has decided to run out on the wedding, and she jumps in the car and they drive off into the sunset together.
Are you sure you didn't watch the November Rain video?
I watched the video for Jeopardy by the Greg Kihn Band.
Like you are like one dead bride away from the November Rain video. Like,
well, I'm not. Who's to say that?
Yeah, you get slashed walking out of a church, and I'm pretty sure you watched the wrong video. But that's kind of high art for that time.
And that was the thing. I think that's why. I think that's part of why Al chose to do this song, because the video was in such heavy rotation on MTV because it was different than videos at the time.
We'll get into this later. Well, you and I have been talking about this a lot today, so this is not a surprise to you. You know I'm not a fan of the original song here, so I don't know a lot. What year did the original song even come out?
1982.
82?
Yeah.
Okay. It helps me because my sister was very early adapter with MTV. Like I literally saw the launch of MTV at my sister's house. So when you say the video was in heavy rotation, it's important to me because there's a huge distinction between like 82 and 83 as far as MTV goes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because like, you know, the music video output was like tenfold more in 83 than it was in 82.
Okay,
you have to remember there's a lot of songs that were hits because they were the only ones that had video clips. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is probably why this song was probably a hit because do you know the name of the album that Jeopardy is on?
Dude, was it like Walkin' or something like that?
It's called Kinspiracy.
Oh,
it's
no.
Greg Kihn Band. You guys.
I can't take this anymore.
Okay.
I can't.
That's why I called it Walking. I'm so dumb. Like I remember the footprints on like the spotlight or whatever, the street light or.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, I gotta assume this was a hit because it was in huge rotation. It wasn't like Pat Benatar is one who she had hits that became in big rotation because they made the video to go with the hits. This is one of those things where this was a hit because they had a clip for it.
Sure. And it was a pretty good clip for it. And the video that Al put together for I Lost on Jeopardy actually draws a lot of fun parallels to the video for Jeopardy by the Greg Kihn Band. Greg Kihn is actually the driver of the car at the end when Weird Al escapes the studio and drives off into the car. That mirrors the original video. Al's parents appear as themselves in the video.
I get sad every time I hear about his parents.
I know. Dr. Demento is one of the crew members in the control room in the video. So I like the Dr. Demento cameos in Weird Al videos quite a bit. And then if anybody wants the information about the clues that appeared on the Jeopardy board in the I Lost on Jeopardy video, I have that information. I don't think we need to spend too much time going through all that. But one I will share, because it does amuse me, is the answer shown under the food category in the video is secret ingredient found in both Cheese Whiz and Crazy Glue. So that's fun.
Same texture almost.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So where I went after this was I remembered that Al was a contestant on Rock and Roll Jeopardy, and he lost. So he did, in fact, lose on Jeopardy. But that kind of got me digging into Weird Al's whole like game show oeuvre, which I thought these would be fun facts to just sort of share right here at the beginning. Because famously, he was on a celebrity Wheel of Fortune with James Brown, who had no idea what was going on. But Al ended up winning something along the lines of like $30,000 for charity on that, right?
That's like famous, right?
Yeah.
Like not. I don't mean this to be a little, but it's not just in Weird Al circles. That's like famous James Brown's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so then, like I said, so he won about $30,000 there. After that, he did go on Rock and Roll Jeopardy, but he only won $2,500. These next two, though, absolutely amused the heck out of me. And I'm going to do them in backwards chronological order from when they happened.
Watch your language.
I know. So Weird Al appeared on a celebrity episode of the MTV game show Remote Control in 1988.
That's a core memory unlocked.
And he played against Julie Brown and LL Cool J.
Wait, hold on.
Downtown Julie.
No, I was going to say, Richie, not to be rude, it was not Downtown Julie Brown. The other Julie Brown, the redheaded white woman.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The lesser intelligent of the two, if I remember.
I hear MTV correctly. And then I hear Julie Brown.
No, for sure. Absolutely. And it's friends of ours are friends with Downtown Julie Brown, and she, to this day, gets upset when people mix her up with the other Julie Brown. But one thing, I don't want to derail too much here, but just recently, Richie, I had shown Lauren Remote Control for the first time. Like she'd never seen or heard of it, you know? And so we busted through 10 or so episodes one night. And it was one of those things where she was kind of like, you guys watched this on purpose growing up? You know, we're like, yeah, I used to get super excited about this every night at 7 p.m. And she would be like, really? And I married you, you know?
Yeah.
So then, but I mean, we had fun watching. But what's funny is what you said, Richie, about core memory unlocked. I can tell you so much about Remote Control. So many early comedians that were on there. I have no recollection of Weird Al having been on that show until Lauren sent me the clip.
Yeah, he went all the way to the bonus round and won
he did. He's the smartest of all of them.
Yeah, and won the $5,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're keeping track here, but we have a little over $30,000 on Wheel of Fortune, $5,000 on Remote Control, $2,500 on Rock and Roll Jeopardy. And here's my favorite bit of trivia. I didn't even tell you, Russ, about this one beforehand because I needed everybody to experience this together. In 1988, Weird Al competed on the Fox primetime version of Family Double Dare. His opponent that night was the Incredible Hulk himself, Lou Ferrigno. Wow. Al was on the red team with a family called the Deeroffs. And Lou Ferrigno was on the blue team with a family called the Dots Learners.
Oh, no.
And Weird Al's team did successfully through the whole game and the obstacle course and won $26,000 in cash and prizes. So altogether, Weird Al has won over $60,000 on game shows.
All right, so I have a couple.
Way to go, lose for Rigno.
Yeah.
Oh!
Good one.
Oh!
So I have a couple of questions. Number one, why are we not talking as a society about how Weird Al beat the Incredible Hulk? I don't care what the circumstances are. I'm just saying that happened. That's a thing. That's a thing.
I know.
Yeah.
And number two, and this is probably the most important question I'm going to ask you in our entire lives, including will you marry me? Like this is probably as or more important. Do we know if footage of that exists and can we watch it?
I don't know, but now that is my next mission in life is to find this footage.
All right. Well,
Just
I mean,
Google
I'm
the
not saying our
Incredible
marriage
Sulk.
depends on it, but like,
Okay. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard him say that, but my marriage might depend on finding that footage. So if we can't find it on YouTube, hey, loyal listeners of the Beard Al podcast, you probably have some Weird Al archives of stuff. Help me.
right? Yeah. Send us a VHS tape.
Help me find it.
Or just Google the Incredible Sulk and you'll find it.
Good one.
Immediately.
So those are my facts about I Lost on Jeopardy. Not so much about the song recording itself, but some fun facts about the video and some fun facts about Weird Al and game shows, which are two of my favorite things in the world. So without further ado, we'll move on to part 2 of this episode, the next phase of the game, which is where we all talk about 3 things that we think really work about this song. And we're going to go, round robin with it. So, Russ, you've done this. You've done this before. So I think we're going to let Richie go first. And Faux show. So what's the first thing you want to talk about that really works with I Lost on Jeopardy?
I think the song being placed at a lower key than the original works so well, honestly, because as much as Greg Kinn's version is an earworm, Al's version is the even better earworm because of that. And to that credit, I often find it very like we all do that thing where we sing along to music in our cars, even to stuff that's completely out of our range, and we sound ridiculous. Al has a knack for putting songs in key, even if the artist song that he's parodying is in the original key, he will take other songs, even if it's to fit his vocal range or not, and he will put them in different keys sometimes. And I think that is very helpful whenever we want to sing along to his stuff and not sound like a complete ridiculous, person. So I think that works fantastically. Not to mention, I think the composition just sounds better in that key.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to jump the line here a little bit because the last point that I wanted to make correlates so well with the point that you were just making, so that I'm just, I'm not going to rehash this again later. My note literally says, original is heavier somehow. Good choice. Meaning the key change helps the because you can tell that the Weird Al one is less serious, right? In theme and tone, and it sounds like that with the key being different and the instrumentation itself, while definitely being honest to the original. This is not the word that I want, but
it's authentic to the original.
It's authentic to the original. It's different enough that it sounds like its own thing. That when I'm today kind of putting all my mental research together for this, I went right from I Lost on Jeopardy to Jeopardy, and it sounded like a completely different thing, like back to back like that. It's like very, very jarring. But I think, Al's version is successful in its way because it changes it just enough to let you know that this is a silly thing. Mm-hmm. So, do you have a point?
This is hard for me because, and we've talked about this, where like this is, and to put it in much more modern example out there is this is the first time for me that Weird Al had a track, which the most modern example I can give is Handy / Fancy, the Iggy Azalea parody. I do not in any way, shape, or form like the original song. And Jeopardy just was not my jam when it hit. Like I bought 3 45 RPM singles at the same time, and one of them got played once. I bought Twilight Zone by Golden Earring.
Now I'm stepping into the Twilight Zone.
That was amazing.
Thanks.
I bought Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran, and I bought Jeopardy by the Greg Kihn Band. And the Jeopardy single got played once, and I was like, nah. In my defense, they were 75 cents or 3 for $2. So
I get that. When you bought it, did you say to yourself, "Don't know what I was thinking of"?
Right. Yes, that's what I said.
Did you frisbee it like in Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah, I should. Oh, that was the Batman soundtrack.
What is this, Greg Kihn Band? Toss it.
Yep. And so like just when I was a kid, I never liked the song in the first place. And so when it would like my immediate reaction to it when I got in 3D was this is a wasted track because I don't like the original, right? Having said that, I would agree that the key change works for sure. And I always sound like a broken record with this, but production. It's produced exactly like the original. This to me, I think in 3D is such a gargantuan step forward in production. And I know anybody who's heard me in this series before is like, oh, he's talking about the production again. But like it's no small feat that they would have produced each of these songs to sound like their counterparts at the time. And even though this is in a different key, it's still everything about it, like all the reverbs in the right spots, all the drumming sounds as tight as it did in the original. The vocals are produced with the same reverb on it as the original. You know what I mean? So production for sure.
Absolutely. And to
go ahead. Go ahead.
I will go for I'll forget about this if I don't.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
hear that.
Yeah, because I think production is always something you should talk about when it comes to anything, especially with Weird Al, because people that do not work in production, I don't think, and not to be like sounding rude about it, but I don't think they appreciate it as much, because to come up with that authentic sound for each individual track is extra work you're doing in studio, because most albums have like the drums are set one way and they sound that way the entire time. The guitars are set one way, they sound like that the entire time.
Yeah.
The compression, the noise floor level on everything, like no, it takes extra time and extra effort, and we always appreciate, as musicians and music lovers, we appreciate them going the extra mile in production, because that's what makes the experience completely listenable.
Yeah. So I kind of skipped ahead and shared two.
That's okay.
I do have a third, but I will wait around for that.
Okay. Yeah. But my last two are wildly different. So you know what, Richie, what is the next thing that you think works about I Lost on Jeopardy?
Jeopardy is still around, so the song is not dated. Like, it's one of those things where some of Al's material, it's not dated, but like you had to be there, or you have to know some of this stuff existed and what he's talking about. This is one of those ones that just is timeless for me.
Yeah, it's got that timelessness to it. And the one thing I will say is, it didn't make sense to me having, like when I was a kid, I was like, who's Art Fleming with Don Pardo? Like, what is this? I don't understand, because I was not familiar with that iteration of Jeopardy. But you're absolutely right, Richie. The fact that like Jeopardy is still around, there's a lot to grab onto with this song. Unlike the last episode I did was Buy Me a Condo, which is all about like 80s consumerism,
Right. That's
and
the reggae track on here, right?
that is the reggae track. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Which, by the way, shameless plug for your own content. You in the last episode, if you're listening to this episode and you didn't hear the Buy Me a Condo episode for whatever reason, go back and listen to that. I'm not on that episode. I'm not plugging my own appearance. There is a stunningly good conversation in the second half of that episode that everyone should be listening to about this thing where we've all decided that we can't have jokes about anything and we have to cancel everything that someone else told us not to like. And for whatever reason, Buy Me a Condo ended up in that conversation, and it makes me physically angry. And it's probably better that I wasn't on that episode, because y'all had a much less angry and more intelligent conversation than I would have been able to put together about it. So just, again, I'm shamelessly plugging your own show here on your own show. But like, if you're listening to this episode and you didn't hear that Buy Me a Condo episode, even if you don't like the song, go back and listen to the second half of the episode, because there's a much larger conversation happening there.
Thank you.
Beard Alception.
It was Beard Alception. I will tell you, like, it does do my heart good sometimes. Like, if I'm sitting in my own office and across the hall, I hear Russ listening to an episode of my show that he wasn't on from his office, I'm like, oh, because like I'll come out of recordings with other people and I'll be like, that was so good. I was like, I'm all like excited and jazzed about it. But then time passes and I'm over the excitement. I'm just like, all right, I got to put this episode out now. And then I hear him listening to it and I was like, oh yeah, that's why I was so excited about this.
There was a point in that episode where, and I won't spoil it, but there was a point in the episode where your guest was saying something and I was talking to the phone. I was like, being like this, and then you said what I kept yelling at the phone in on the episode, which was great. Let me run it back here though regarding Art Fleming and Don Pardo, and I'm just kind of forced to skip ahead because the Don Pardo thing is my favorite thing about this track. It's like the thing that works the most for me is the Don Pardo.
That's my number one. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. First of all, when I was a kid, I did the same thing you did. I was like, who the hell is Art Fleming? Like when he, I was like, who? I don't even know who that is, right? So, and then also, I swear to God, every word of the story is true, and you're gonna think it's good. He's gonna be like, I married that guy. What was I thinking? So years later, around like 88, 89 or whatever, when I started, staying up late on Saturday night to watch SNL, hand to God, when it was all like, it's Saturday Night Live, I was like, oh, that guy went on to something.
Oh my God, that's cute.
Yep. Like I had like no irony. I'm not doing this for a bit. This was real. I was like, oh, that's the guy from The Thing. That's good for him. Like I was like, yay. Hey, he got to go on to something else. Did not understand that like Don Pardo was very much an established thing. It's like, well, this is a sidebar, but this is like when Seven Wonders came out by Fleetwood Mac. And I told my sister that I like this new band called Fleetwood Mac. And she was like, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Fleetwood smack.
Yeah, I know.
I like your little puns today. This is clever.
It was 1987, and my sister was like, "Yeah, I've heard of Fleetwood Mac," and I was like, "Really?" Yeah. So I hand to God, when I first heard Don Pardo's voice on SNL, I was like, "Oh, that's good for him! Yay, the guy from I Lost on Jeopardy!" And it was like, "Oh, no, yeah, no, that's not real."
Well,
this young up and coming anner's going places.
Yeah,
right?
Thanks to Al.
Yeah, look at that. He's already giving back.
But the Don Pardo thing is just perfect. Like I have to assume Al wrote the copy there, and it is perfect. It is. Mm-hmm. I've quoted that so many times in my life. Like just like if you've seen this, if we're in, how The Thing now is in breweries where they have to have board games and stuff. There's like a beat up version of Connect Four, and they're like, oh look, the hipsters are going to sit in the corner and play it. I'm always like, that's a lousy copy of their home game. Like
you're a complete loser.
Yep.
And the license plate and the car that they drive away in at the end of this says loser.
Yeah.
Which is a play off of the license plate at the end of Jeopardy where it says lips.
Oh yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, my second, well, this was my number one point, but since it piggybacks off of like what is all happening here with the, the Jeopardy thing still being relevant, and I absolutely love that. And I mean, that happens to Weird Al in more ways than one, like Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White. Like you still get that too, because she's still like right there. But I literally wrote down, I think Don Pardo is the star of this in a lot of ways. And the extended Don Pardo intro on the video version is great.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you gotta love the earnestness with which he did this part, right? And that's his experience on Saturday Night Live. That's Don Pardo doing Don Pardo things. I didn't think that sentence would ever come out of my mouth, but
I'm going to make a wild comparison that like most people are going to be like, all right, you're going too far. But when you look at Vincent Price on the Thriller track, mm-hmm. Here you have a guy who's been doing, at the time would have been doing, Richie, you'd probably know better than me, but at the time would have been doing horror for what, 25 years, I'd guess, 2020. If Thriller was recorded in 82, so you figure what, 82? 20-ish years at least.
Yeah, at least 20.
So here's the guy that like literally wrote the book on like horror, and he's coming in to like do a rap over a dance beat. What? You know what I mean? And for Vincent Price to have wrapped his head around that and dropped such an iconic take, which he did in like 2 takes, with this, I understand this is a parody song, but like Don Pardo very much could have phoned this in. Like he could have just come in and been like, well, my voice is my voice and people will know it's me. But like he reads it as if he was doing it for the show, which I think says a lot about the respect that he would have had. Mm-hmm. And again, I make that correlation to Thriller. Like I feel like Vincent Price could have came in and been like, I don't know what this is, but he like put his all into it, and I feel like Don Pardo did the same thing here.
I'm not mad at
understood
that.
the assignment.
Yeah, and I love that comparison.
He did not make himself look like a jerk in front of millions of people.
Yeah, he did not bring disgrace upon his family name for generations to come.
No, he actually got the lousy copy of the home game.
Yeah, they actually did. I think he is the lousy copy of the home game. Wherever Don Pardo is, doesn't that mean that's the home game?
I guess so. Oh my God. I think I need like a home. I think I need like a copy of like a Jeopardy home game.
I would love to take it to his wherever his final resting place is and leave a copy of the lousy copy of the home game. No, I'm not saying that to be funny. Like
I love that. I'm not
yeah,
laughing at it.
that would be sweet.
I think that would be sweet. I bet we're not the first people to think of that. Watch, you go to Don Pardo's grave and they're just all stacked up there. Jeopardy board game.
If nothing else, you probably get the security. It's like, you're not the first people to think of this. The exit's right over there.
I know. Brilliant.
Keep driving.
Keep going, people. Good God. Dude. But yeah, Don Pardo, I don't think this song is anywhere near as successful as it is without Don Pardo. Especially the I'm giving up, Don Pardo. Just tell me now what I didn't win. Yeah. And then for Don Pardo to actually do the bit right there after he says, "Oh, I've given up, Don Pardo." Like, does anybody on a Jeopardy situation like talk to the announcer and be like, "Hey, I've given up"? Like nobody on Jeopardy today is like, "Oh, Johnny Gilbert, that's it for me." And that's the thing. I'm going where I'm going. Johnny Gilbert, the current Jeopardy announcer, who is so old but so fabulous. Johnny Gilbert does his job from home now.
Aw, that's sweet.
And they let him do it from home.
I mean, why not though?
Right? They actually made a change. I think it was sometime last season on Jeopardy because they were kind of pretending that he was still up in the booth. And so like they'd say, "Thank you, Johnny Gilbert." And like Ken would point to the booth, but Johnny hadn't been in the booth for like a year, like since COVID probably hadn't been in the booth. He'd been doing like recording his announcing and doing it from home. So now instead of pointing to the booth and saying, "Thank you, Johnny Gilbert," he looks right at the camera. And that was
that's sweet.
That was a choice that the Jeopardy production team made to acknowledge that Johnny's at home.
Speaking of which, since we're already off the reservation and this is Don Pardo adjacent, did y'all know this, that before Don Pardo retired, like, because he retired and passed away, it was like a Tom Petty thing, like he retired and passed away very soon after he retired. Did y'all know that while he was on the show, they had Daryl Hammond do a Don Pardo impression for some
Yes,
intros?
I knew that.
Yeah. Like if Don was like not feeling well, they were like, well, we can't not have the voice. So they had Daryl Hammond do, and one of them is the Justin Timberlake. I know for sure it's either the first or second Justin Timberlake appearance on the show. And if you go back and listen to it now, you're like, that's totally not Don Pardo. But yeah, there were several episodes before he retired where they had Daryl Hammond.
It was Daryl Hammond.
Which is funny because
Daryl Hammond does it to this day.
Now, yeah, but he doesn't do a Pardo impression anymore.
He's just being himself with it. Yeah.
And one last Don Pardo point, I was wildly upset the week he passed because anybody who's ever even had a cup of coffee on SNL, they always do that black and white picture of them at some point, or they run a classic sketch. And when Don Pardo died, they didn't do that. And I was so livid, but apparently he had put that in his contract that he didn't want them to waste any airtime on him. That was his choice. He didn't want to be memorialized.
Well, I beg your Don Pardon.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Sorry. I had to do it. But I think there is something to say about the honor that is part of being like the announcer on a very important show like that. Yeah. And, Don Pardo, Johnny Gilbert, all these guys take that role very, very seriously. And the fact that Don Pardo was like, you know what? I'm going to go do this novelty song and I'm going to kick ass at it and take it. Like, he took it as a serious role and I love it. Well, one last thing, Richie. I'm sure you've got 3 points. What's your last point?
Well, I think the Jeopardy theme wrote itself. How do you not hear the original and be like, I'm going to just write this about Jeopardy, the game show? Like, it's right freaking there. You know what I mean? Like there's Al is good at parody, period. We all know this. But when he has to do less work, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We talked about this on the Eat It episode where like Eat It and I lost on Jeopardy with the Jeopardy song. As far as concepts go, very low hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like on Eat It, we're like, yeah, but nobody could do it that good. And it's the same with this. It's like if the thinking part is done and you just get to dive in, you've got your concept and you just get to dive in and have fun with it. I think that's where Al really shines, is with the less conceptual themes, I guess, based on the parody.
I almost feel like at times, because you and I have talked about this before, like Eat It and I Lost on Jeopardy sound like me and Richie ran into Weird Al in public and went, you know what you should do is I Lost on Jeopardy. You know,
hey bro, you should do Eat It. Bro.
Yeah, you know what you should do? You should do Eat It. That's what these concepts sound like. They sound like me and Richie ran into Weird Al and tried to pitch it to him, right? But
you know we would actually.
Oh my God, for sure, absolutely. I mean, knowing full well that he's just the whole time is thinking, please stop talking to me about this. I'd still do it anyways.
Guys, what are you doing?
But and again, like we pressed this with like even the way this song starts, the whole point of Jeopardy, at least in the 80s and to some extent now, is that it's they're part of it is the don't judge a book by its cover. You see these contestants and you're like, oh, this guy's all disheveled and take one of our favorite contestants now, Sam Buttrey.
I love Sam Buttrey.
I mean, I'm using this word with the utmost reverence, but he's just goofy. Like he's old and goofy and cool, and
he writes novelty music. Sam Buttrey, come on my show.
But you would never look at him and be like, I bet that guy's brilliant, and he's freaking brilliant, right? So right at the beginning of this song, I was there to match my intellect with a plumber and an architect, both with the PhD. Like he's talking about the nuance of what the contestants look like.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Weird Al takes the dumb thing Richie and I would have told him and makes it way better.
Yeah. Can I ask
Actually, I'll just take Richie out of this. I keep making it sound like I'm insulting him. I'm the one who would go, oh, dude, there's Weird Al. Let's tell him about the I Lost on Jeopardy idea.
No, I'd probably be the same way.
Yeah, I'm just saying you wouldn't stop me.
No.
But it would be me who would go, hey, let's tell him.
Can I ask a dumb question? It might be very dumb.
Oh, boy.
So this has always bothered me, and I've also never bothered to look it up. So it could be a very easily Googleable thing, which I like that. Did I just make up that word? Googleable?
Googleable.
It's a Googleable.
It's the you sound like the movie The Intern.
It's a Googleable.
The googliness knows no bounds.
The googly, yes. What's always bothered me, so I was there to match my intellect against a plumber, and an architect, both with a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
What would your PhD be in for plumbing?
Dr. Mario.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, but that's funny to me.
No, that makes sense.
I'll buy it.
I don't think Dr. Mario was out by then, but
No, it wasn't. But
I thought it was hilarious.
It wasn't, but it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo was like, Dr. Mario.
You know what I mean, though? I get architect, and I get why Al threw that in, because his degree was in architecture.
Right.
But I don't know.
You're concerned with where the plumber went to school.
I'm concerned with what the plumber has a PhD in. Like, does he have a PhD like in art history, and then he's a plumber because that's where the money is? I mean, probably.
How about Hard Knocks?
It's pretty hard, though. That's what PhD stands for. Pretty hard, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like I say, he takes that simple concept and just works it so much.
Yep.
For so much more than it should be worth.
Yes. We're right there. So I like that point. My last point is very small, but it's probably my favorite part of the song. The last time he says, I lost on Jeopardy, absolutely slays me every time it happens. It's in the video. It's as he's getting thrown out of the studio. It's, because the rest of it's very smooth. I lost on Jeopardy, baby. But the last one is, I lost on Jeopardy, baby. And it's just like, ooh, it's.
Well, I'd be surprised if we didn't talk about this in the Eat It video, but I love that he gets unruly with that one too. The last one, oh Lord.
Yep. And I think it's brilliant. Like just throwing those little, I think one of my points for Buy Me a Condo was also, the part where he slips into the most authentic Al that there is when he goes, weenie barbecue. It's like, I think I love when he breaks that wall between what you think the parody is supposed to sound like. And it's like, oh, by the way, Like, I think I just love that so much.
It's just Al going into full gremlin goblin mode.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing. Have we all talked about what we like and think works about I Lost on Jeopardy?
Yeah.
We're all set?
Absolutely.
I wanted to make sure before I kicked it over to a little break for some advertisements for fellow podcasts that we are friends with, and also just some companies that will throw a couple of cents at me.
And before anybody complains about the commercials, it's all based on your search history. So if you are getting ads for anything you don't like, then either you are looking up things that you don't admit to, or someone you know is using your phone and doing that.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
hope it's a Dr. Mario ad.
I hope so too. That'd be great. If we get a Dr. Mario ad, let me know. Okay, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Hey, you there. We've got a question for you. Are you tired of clickbait stories and the loudest voices driving discussions in culture and entertainment?
If so, I'm Dylan.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Corey. And we host the podcast From the Middle. We're middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives with points of view somewhere in the middle.
We take a more reasonable and centrist approach in our discussions covering genres like comedy, culture, entertainment, and interviews, with really interesting folks like business owners, comic creators, doctors, news anchors, New York Times best-selling illustrators, professional stand-up comics, and more. We really value a relaxed and conversational podcast, one that we hope is so fun and laid back, you'll forget you're not actually hanging out with us.
So search at From the Mid Pod, just like it sounds, or check us out everywhere you can find podcasts.
Hey, this is Grab Brisket Podcast. Join us every Monday where we talk about the latest trends in barbecue, interviews with world top pitmasters, celebrity cooks,
Ooh, like Wee Man from Jackass.
and musicians.
Like Rich O'Toole?
So check us out. We do beer reviews, barbecue fails.
So many fires.
Dude, a lot of people just burn their houses down for no reason.
We also talk about cocaine hippos versus meth gators,
Learn how to make some tailgate gravy.
altercations with Texas Rangers.
People throwing Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, so check out grabthebrisket.com for podcast info, viral social media posts, and so much more.
Blah, this is going well. Okay.
And we're back!
Yeah, we're back!
Man in the can, get back in that can. I will never not laugh at that. I will laugh at that for if anybody's listening to this and you don't know what that is, go to YouTube and just type in SNL Man in the Can,
Yep.
and then thank me directly on Twitter afterwards.
Yeah, thank him, because it's a delightful thing. I think the one with Jimmy Fallon and Ben Affleck is probably my favorite, because that one just gets very unhinged.
Where they're
Competing.
ripping off each other.
It's great. Anyway, yeah, I think that's probably my favorite way to come back from commercial break. It's either that or being like, how about those ads? Weren't those ads great?
Did they sell you something? Do you want to buy these things?
Man, I really wanted to go to that place where they had that thing for which they were advertising.
Whenever I listened to y'all's show when I lived in Detroit, the moment it was like, okay, we'll be back in a minute, like, you know, whatever else, and your thing would fade out, and it would be like, MGM Grand Detroit has, and I'd be like, how dare you? Wow, how dare you suggest that I would go to the casino while I'm driving to the casino listening to your show?
I and because I've got some control over, I mean, you all know we're all on the same platform, but like I've got some control over the, like, what doesn't make it into the ad rotation, like the type of ad that doesn't.
Yeah.
But I have had several people reach out to me and be like, can you do something about these ED drug ads that I keep getting? And I'm like, I cannot.
So this is going to be the thing where you'll probably end up apologizing for me being rude to people. But here's my thing: when people reach out to me as a content creator and they're like, "Hey, I don't like anything to do with ads. Try this on for size. Hit the membership button on the YouTube channel, and then we won't have to worry about things like that because we won't have to run ads because you'll be helping support the channel." So you see how both sides of this episode are starting with lift a finger instead of complaining at us.
Or you could take those drugs to lift something else.
Yeah, or you could take the ED. You can take the ED drugs.
Bing! All right.
Moral of the story, you might have to bleep me on this one, but just don't be a dick.
Yep. So, I guess that's a nice segue to things that don't work.
Yeah, into being a jerk. May I start? Because I feel like it can only go uphill from here.
Sure.
I don't like Jeopardy at all, like Greg Kinban. I just don't like the song. I don't care about his love at all. I don't care anything. I just, like Richie said, I think it was recorded in the wrong key in the first place. Like, I don't like anything about it at all. And I think everything about Weird Al's version is better in every single way possible, including the fact that it takes me from never wanting to hear the song again to being okay with hearing it occasionally.
That's fair.
Now, you both can take it all the way up from there, because that is rock bottom stuff, in my opinion.
Well, I did forget earlier, whenever you brought up the title of this of the Greg Kihn album, every one of his albums has a Kihn pun in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's absolutely hysterical.
And he does an annual charity concert in California called the Kincert.
So, like, in a way, though, yeah, I mean, come on. Round of applause for putting puns in everything. That's great. I like, Richie, I know you know who this is, but I don't know if you know this. Do you know that Sebastian Bach does this with everything? Like, Sebastian Bach has a live album called Bring 'em Bach Alive. And he did a covers album called Bach to Basics. And it's good to be Bach in Detroit, he says every time he comes out and all that. Like, yeah, Bach is like on fire with the puns, you know?
That's great.
But like, to quote Doc McGee, Sebastian Bach is 100 miles an hour and 0 IQ. So I think Sebastian Bach thinks it's like a really clever joke. And I think Greg Kihn is in on the joke, if I were to guess.
He's Kihn on the joke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Yeah. He has the Kinside scoop.
Good one. Good one.
Weird Al is Barbie. He's just Greg Kihn.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
but is he Kinough?
Oh, come on now.
I know. I stole that pun. It's okay. I'll live
But
with
yeah,
it.
all good.
but like, I gotta assume that Greg Kihn is like in on this. Like, he's like, whereas Sebastian Bach, like, I've physically seen interviews with Sebastian Bach where he's like, do you get it? And people are like, yeah, you put Bach in it. I got it. Like,
Oh my God.
Serious too.
I am.
yeah, Richie, you can go to Spotify right now and look at. He's got at least one live album called "Bring 'em Bach Alive."
I'm gonna go stream it later.
Yeah, it's a good live album. I
I'm
kid you not, it's a great live album. But yeah, it's called.
I'm
I'll
obsessed.
stream it for both the lulz and because cool.
Yeah, well, because Sebastian Bach's a great singer, but like Doc McGee said, man, what's it? 100 miles an hour and 0 IQ.
Can I do this? I really need to do this because
You're not gonna list all of those, are you?
I'm not all of them, just my favorites. I'm obsessed with this. Next of Kin, Rock Kin Roll.
Wait, is Next of Kin his second album? Please be his second album.
Third.
Damn it!
Well, it's Greg Kin. Get Greg Kin again. Next of Kin.
Why is the second one not called Continued?
I don't know. Well, because we've got Rock Kin Roll, which is followed up by
Rock and roll.
Rock Kin Roll. Then there's Continued.
Continued.
Then Kinspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Contagious. Citizen Kin.
Jesus, why?
Kinsolidation, the best of Greg Kin. Uncontrollable, Greg Kin Live. King of
So that's like obviously a dude who's in on this.
yeah,
Like,
Kin of Hearts. True Confessions.
these are my confessions.
Kinplete. And Rekindled.
Oh, Rekindled. That's good stuff.
I love that Al parodied a guy that parodies himself consistently.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Oh, consistently.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Come on, man. Like,
I literally cannot.
I woke up this morning fully not thinking that I would end this day with more respect for Greg Kin than I woke up with.
And that's the thing. With what I was saying at the beginning too is like, y'all can love this song all you want to. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad song or he makes bad music. Right? It's just never hit with me. Right. Same thing with what's her name? The handy lady.
Iggy Azalea.
Yeah, Iggy Azalea. I don't know enough about her to say that she makes bad music. That song just doesn't hit for me. You know what I mean? And when Weird Al, fancy lesser, but like this, I like, if I'm going to listen to any form of this, it's going to be Weird Al's version.
That's fair. That's fair.
100.
I agree. No, I don't
And he doesn't have
disagree
a lot
with
of
you.
songs. Like just the other day, you and I were watching some award show, obviously an old one, where Crash Test Dummies and I am as excited to hear that as I would be Weird Al. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I like the original as much as I do Weird Al's version, you know? But with this, it's like, let me put it this way. If we were all hanging out and anybody was controlling the music but me and the Greg Kihn song came on, I would be like, did you mean to put the Weird Al one on? Because if not, can you do that instead? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I would instantly want to hear the Weird Al version.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, Richie, do you have anything you think doesn't work?
I don't think anything about this song is bad. Like everything fires on all cylinders with this.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's one of the better songs. And not even that this album is less good by any means, any song, but like it's one of the better ones on this album for me, just because it's earwormy, it works, and it's better than the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. I feel like, because I'm the only person doing this with all of the songs. I feel like, I kind of go through and I look with as critical an eye as I can. And speaking as someone who has had a second interview with Wheel of Fortune, I understand a little bit, and I'm, still pending. Things are still pending there. This is not over. But I understand a little bit like what goes into getting on game shows. So the one thing that bothers me, and I get it for the joke, but how this song ends, he's on Jeopardy, he's losing, blah, 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 blah. Well, I sure hope I do better next weekend on The Price is Right. I will tell you, sir, you will not be able to get on another game show that quickly. Because they have rules that you fill out a form and they say, have you appeared on a game show in the last, 24, 46, whatever months, right? These are things that aren't allowed to occur. So I understand it in the context of this song, but if I had to pick something, it would be like, you can't do better next weekend on The Price is Right, because you're going to probably have to wait at least 2 years.
Non-compete, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So you're going to spend a couple of years being out of contention.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one, right? That was good. That was good. I felt that one. That was nice. All right. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Like, we get to this part where, like, it's like what doesn't work. And that, it's usually there's not a lot that happens here. And that's why we have the rating system. And that's why the rating system is so weird and convoluted. You have to do it on a scale of 1 to 27. Because 27, of course, is the Weird Al number. But it is also such like a weird and unwieldy range where it's like, what is good? What is bad? I don't even know.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Larry Mo Curly.
No more.
Mo Curly. No mo. Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do?
I have a rating.
You have a rating? So Russ, go with
I have a
your
rating and an explanation.
Great. Okay.
13.5.
Wow.
Because how much I don't mind hearing the Weird Al version and how much I like Don Pardo and all the references in it and taking such an easy concept, like such a shooting fish in a barrel and making something great out of it lyrically, is exactly how much I don't ever care to hear the original again. Like, and I'm not hostile about it, but I just don't care. Like, literally, if I never hear that song again, it won't matter to me ever. So they literally cancel each other out. So negative 13.5 points for Greg Kihn's original, and then 13.5 up from the ground up for Weird Al doing what he did with it. So
you're saying you don't have a kinship with the original?
that is correct.
That is such a actual broken record.
Ah, boy. Can we move on?
Yes, we can.
No, because I know Greg Kihn is going to steal that. And he's like, you guys are getting a new album title.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, you know what I mean? I just like.
I get that. I'll go next. Simply because, like, again, because I'm having to put a rating on all of these, I kind of have to remember, like, I know I like this song better than I like Buy Me a Condo. You know what I mean? So I can't rank this lower than that. So I've got to go like 22 out of 27, simply because, like, anytime I've seen Al do this song in concert, I get delighted. And I'm speaking as a champion of Weird Al Jeopardy that this song does also have a special place in my heart because I won on Weird Al Jeopardy and I came in second. So I also lost on Weird Al Jeopardy because I got to play twice.
Yeah, but you let a child win the second time.
Right.
You didn't so much lose as you threw the game for a child.
I did throw
which
the
is a
game for
nice thing to do, and your mom was mad at you for.
She was. She's like, take no prisoners. And I'm like, but okay.
Well, because I'm texting her folks while I'm like, oh, she's on stage, and she's, whipping wholesale behind again. And like, so I'm texting her folks as the game's going on, and then I'm like, oh no, because they swapped out one of the contestants with a little kid. And I was like,
one of the contestants?
Oh, good one. Oh. With a little kin. And I said, I'm texting her parents in the group chat, and I'm like, yeah, they swapped out the one of the contestants for this little kid. I'm pretty sure Lauren's going to let him win. And like her mom in all caps is like, do not let him win. And I was like, well, I can't tell her that. Like, she's on stage. And I could tell Lauren was struggling with it. I'm not being funny. Like, she was struggling like, oh, I don't want to lose this. Like, I don't want to throw this for this little kid. So she does the right thing. And she comes off stage, and I was like, yeah, I told your parents. And I was like, your mom was being funny. And she's like, my mom was not being funny. My mom wanted me to throw that kid, wanted me to beat that kid. Her mom was like disappointed that she let a child win.
Sorry, that's great.
It's great. Well, here's the thing, and I say this with complete sincerity.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I don't think my mom ever let me win anything. I don't think she ever threw anything for me.
Yeah.
It just got to a point where like the Nintendo gaming system started getting a little too advanced for her skill set, and then she'd start to lose. But like once she was capable and understood what was going on, she was a really formidable competitor.
Ah, good one.
And
Yes.
I'm throwing puns in, but I'm also making this. But seriously, she has like a, you don't let anybody win kind of like mentality. But I was very much, and I've told this story on the show, and it's related here because obviously it is a whole Weird Al Jeopardy scenario. When I was up there with two grown men, I was ready to win, and I was gonna win. I was gonna have 2 gold medals, but then this one grown man started doing so badly that they called in and they were like, "You're done here. We're gonna bring in another contestant," and it was like a small child who was like 6
or 7, yeah.
Big, chubby, round face, cute kid, and. He's like,
just to be clear, if he was ugly, Lauren would have stomped him.
Yeah.
He was just because he was cute.
He's ringing in and like answering things, and like the host is being a little lenient and stuff with him because he's a small child. Then it gets to here's what happened. It gets to Final Jeopardy. He doesn't know the response to Final Jeopardy, and he kind of looks at me.
It was in this moment.
It was in that moment.
Lauren had a decision to make.
I had a decision to make, and I was like, I was like, do you know it? And he's like, I don't know how to write.
Oh no.
And so you got to write for it. So like, I literally wrote his response on their form, and I was like, that's right. And he won because I wrote his response down, because he's like, I can't spell this.
I think I speak for everybody when I say I sure hope your mom doesn't listen to this. She's gonna be so ashamed.
But then this kid's mom, we happened to be in the ladies' room at the same time, like between the before the concert, and she was like, "You made his entire month, like whatever, like he was so happy, like he cried about it, and like he got his medal, and I got a selfie with him.
We just made some kids' night the other night at the WWE NXT.
We sure did. We're all about bringing joy to small children in a good way.
Yeah, in a wholesome way.
WWE KNXT.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That one was a freebie.
Yeah, we had seats on the entrance aisle.
Oh, nice.
And there was a family. It was the parents and like two little girls. And so we were like
it was
the
their
two
first
seats
wrestling event ever. Was this NXT.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So
But they're like, because of us, these 2 little girls are sitting 2 seats away from the entrance, so, and we got there right when the show was starting. So the whole first half of the show, we were just feeling, we're like, these girls should be sitting where we are, so as soon as there was a break, we grabbed their dad. And we were like, hey, switch with us. And the mom and dad were very appreciative, but the look on the little girls' faces when they were getting high fives from the wrestlers, and it was just worth the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, you know that little kid face when like they get excited about stuff. They're like, you know, like they got like a high five from
the look
like,
on a little kid's face. Me and Richie get that look on our face when we're at WWE events now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, be a 6-year-old girl and have a woman of NXT that you look up to go by and high five you.
oh my God, that made my day.
Yeah.
Like that was so great. So, you know,
That's the best.
like I'm glad we're kind of ending on Richie didn't give his ranking yet, but
Richie's gonna be like 1.
I will say I'm glad that the conversation towards the end of this is going exactly where it's going, because this is what Weird Al brings to the world, and this is what like we here at the Weird Al podcast aim to bring into the world too. It's just like, you know, be that little bit of joy for another person in the world. So Richie, you got to put a number on it and just explain it a little bit.
Is the scale like 1 being like good, or is 1 like
1 to 27? So I gave it 22. So, and I like the song. So
okay,
1 is bad, 27 good.
23.
Okay.
I don't think it's Al's best, but it's certainly the best to me on this record. I think King of Suede is fun, which you're going to be talking about in a few episodes.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see. You know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity here, because I can access this fairly quickly, to let y'all know who is who's coming up for these different episodes for this whole series. Polka's on 45. I have Brad from the album Concept Hour. That'll be fun. And then we're going to take a break because that's where the album flips. And I've decided, this has just happened today. So I'm making all of these announcements today. I've decided to have Insane Ian, noted novelty musician. And he's got his own YouTube channel where it's a comedy musician reacts to comedy music coming out and doing stuff. He's going to be my album flip guy. So he's going to kind of do this at the end of side 1 about like what works on side 1, like, you know, pacing, track listing, like all that sort of stuff. And we're going to talk about side 1 as a whole in this same exact format. Then we get into side 2. We've got our friends from the It Rocks talking about Mr. Pope Heel. And that's going to be fun. And King of Suede, like you mentioned, that's Dayton from Docking Bay 77, which will be fun.
That is fun because he had no idea that it existed until we talked to him about it. And he was like,
oh my God.
I know.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And Russ will
He's
probably
like a
be
big
along for
police
some
guy.
of these. He's a big police guy.
Same. Like you both know how much I love Stuart
This,
Cook.
Richie, I don't mean to
one of my-
be like, hey, do you know? But a lot of people don't know this. Do you know Velvet Elvis by Weird Al? Like, do you know it real well or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's, if I'm not mistaken, that's like a synchronicity.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I think between the two, it's crazy to me that he did two, like a style parody of the Synchronicity album and a direct parody of the Synchronicity album on 2 different albums, like 4 albums apart. And it's crazy to me that a lot of people don't know that, you know? Like, so I just
I
think
love
that's
it.
cool.
Those are 2 of the Police's best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I'm not even a huge fan of the band, and I know that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. What comes up? After Dayton with King of Suede, it's That Boy Could Dance with Russ by himself. Like I
Yes,
said,
the flip side of the Eat It single.
yes, that's great. And see, Russ will probably be along for the ride for some of these, whichever ones he feels like sitting in on, because I just like having Russ
It
here.
is a
to do it.
long drive over here.
It's a long drive from the living room. Our
We're
fellow,
talking like 10, 15, 20 steps.
it's too many.
Yeah.
It's too many. Our fellow OddPods media friend Garrett from the Ever Trending Story will be here after that to talk about the theme from Rocky 13. And then there's a fella that is a regular on the Docking Bay 77 podcast who is a huge Weird Al fan and he's a huge Disney guy. He goes by the name of Disney John over there.
So it's not just a clever title.
No. And he's going to be closing things out with Nature Trail to Hell.
I know the listeners can't see this, but Richie got my so it's not a clever title. Who's playing tonight? Crucial Taunt and the Crappy Beatles, we'll say.
Is it Jolly Green Giants and the Crappy
Yeah, the Crappy Beatles. Oh, the Crappy Beatles, are they any good? No, they suck. Oh, so it's not just the clever title.
Clever name.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that.
That's
So yeah, that's just a rundown for the people so you kind of know what's up. And, you know, I could be stepping in it. These people agreed to this a couple of months ago. But I trust everybody on this list.
I think so. I think everybody that you have lined up, in my opinion, like present company included, Richie, all have wildly different perspectives to bring to each song. Like, for example, like you have like this song, Jeopardy, was like a big hit before you and Richie's time even, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Dayton, who's like all in on I think he told us Synchronicity was like the first LP he ever bought or something along those, or he still has his original or something. It's a very important album to him. And he's coming in never having heard that. And then you have me, who bought the Eat It single and flipped it over and was like, I don't know what he's making fun of here before, because I didn't know there was such a thing as a Weird Al original. You know what I mean? Like, so I think all the way across the board, I think it's the people that you have talking about each song. It's not just like the series started with like, hey, we're going to have the Michael Jackson fan talk about Eat It, you know, but then it goes in more interesting directions, I think, as the series goes on.
I'm having fun. Richie, did you have fun today?
Always.
Good.
It's always a good time here with you guys.
Yes, I love it. This is delightful. Again, Richie, tell people where they can go to find the things that you are doing. I will do my best to put links in the show notes to make it easy for folks, but also, you know, I know that some people learn by hearing, so make sure you say it.
Quickly, before Richie shares that, I would like to share something I learned during the episode. Don Pardo, his final resting place is the Rockland Cemetery in Spark Hill, New York. So in case anybody is near there and would like to go and check for us to see if people have left a copy of the home game, we would like to know.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please. And say hi to Don Pardo.
No, say hi to Don Pardo.
I was
Yeah.
beat me to it.
Hello. So yes, I'm sorry, Richie. Please
that's
share,
important.
Please share with the world what it is you did and you are doing.
Well, like if you want to go listen to past, present, and no longer future actually episodes of Super Media Bros, please Google it or go to Apple and Spotify and just search Super Media Bros, and you cannot miss us. Our logo is loud as hell.
Yep.
And it looks like WrestleMania meets Pokemon meets Power Rangers. You can't miss it. And we have over 300 episodes for your listening pleasure. And if you want to keep up with what I'm currently doing, just follow me on any social media platform at GonstFM, GONSTFM. And you'll find literally everything we do there because there are links aplenty. I will give Lauren a link tree to put in the show notes below this episode, so you can just easily access it there.
I love it. I love it. Russ, I know you're here all the time.
I am here all the time.
You know, because you live here and stuff.
Well, I mean, to recap, people can find us on our Infectious Groove YouTube channel, or you can find us on that one guy's TikTok. Yeah. So Infectious Groove Music on YouTube, 4 videos a week. We have fun talking about vinyl records on Sunday. We have a different music topic. Like we just started a new series that I is an homage. It's not a ripoff, but it's an homage to a gaming channel that I found called What's So Great About Gaming, where they talk about things that people usually would think are overrated. And they're like, no, but this is really why this is that good. We started that series so we could do things like talk about artists that, you know, why we think they're great. So we've just started the What's So Great About series. And then, like I say, on Saturdays, we have reaction videos, or you can just go to that one guy's TikTok and watch our reaction videos there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say, Weird Al people, I make sure we get a good amount of Weird Al content happening over there.
What is this episode coming out the week you and I are recording it? The one that we're on right now, is this coming out this Friday?
Nope, last Saturday.
Last Saturday then would have been the Weird Al reaction video.
Yeah, we had a Weird Al reaction video last Saturday. And
so wait, are we right now reacting to our reaction?
Maybe.
Oh boy.
Are we?
I think I gave myself a headache.
Is it Conception?
Here, take 2 of these.
New print. Little. Yellow. Different. But yeah, so we did the George Harrison tribute, What Is Life, which I would challenge most Weird Al fans, if there's by some reason you haven't seen it, check it out. And if you are a George Harrison fan and like me thought, well, I wonder how Weird Al will sound on that, go check out that video.
Yep.
Or again, I'm sure that guy will rip it off for his channel. So
Probably. So anyway, Beard Owl, we're here. So thank you, fellas, gentlemen, people, humans, for being here to talk about I Lost on Jeopardy. And we're almost done with side 1 of Weird Al Yankovic in 3D for its 40th anniversary, and I'm very excited about all of this. And now, this week, I'm not lying. On the next episode, we're going to be talking about Polkas on 45.
liar.
All right, so with that, I guess, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.